Welcome to Chatter Gang, a pod about magic and gathering. My name is Jose, Hope speaking, and today we have, I don't really know, a vampire maybe? Trying to get her throne?
Goth
Maybe
mommy, I
is.
think is the more appropriate.
Yes, it is. God, mommy is the more. If you don't already know, it's VanQuiggCosplay. I love Van. Van is queen of cosplay right now, right? Queen of cosplay. I don't think you want to say that, but I do.
I would never say it, but that's because I have a terrible habit of underplaying my own accomplishments.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I actually am glad that you popped in because this is perfect. So we had you as a amateur winner at MagicCon 2024 in Chicago as Olivia Valderin, right?
Yeah, I keep feeling like it's longer ago, but it was 2024, yeah.
So just under 2 years ago now,
Yeah.
February 2024-ish, and then recently September grand final champion going to Worlds, right? I mean,
Yes. Yeah,
as
so
a zombie warlock. So Zool Asher, I love it. So what I want to start with before we get into the ascension is I want to get into the journey. So what started you on the journey to starting cosplay in general?
Yeah, so I actually have a background in sewing. I went to
Mhm,
school for apparel design. I have my degree in apparel design.
mhm.
I have been an artist since I could wield a pen.
Yeah,
And so after I graduated in 2020, which was kind of a nightmare, and there were no jobs, and there were especially no jobs for creative fields. And so I started my own clothing brand, and I had my own clothing brand for about like 3 or 4 years. It's
mhm,
just in the last year I've petered out and moved strictly to cosplay.
okay.
But yeah, I had my own clothing brand. It
For
was
for young expressive trendsetters, right?
yeah, oh my God, you really did do your research. Yeah, so it was Van Quig was the line, and it started out a lot different than it ended
Mm,
because I felt like school really kind of beat a lot of my individual style out of me because I've always been very
yeah,
alternative in my style, and it didn't vibe as well in a fashion school in Wisconsin.
yeah, especially in Wisconsin, I assume.
Yeah. And it took like quite a few seasons to kind of break out of that and get more comfortable with my own voice,
Yeah,
design wise, and figuring out like who I want to dress and how. And I ended up making clothes that like I would want to wear.
yeah,
And I think that translated really well. And I was also very much like clothes don't have a specific gender.
yeah,
And I really liked using models of all genders and then gender nonconforming models, and that really kind of became a big part of it. And so I did that for a while. I was in a store in Minneapolis for a while. I've done a couple like commission things. I did Minnesota Fashion Week for quite a few seasons. And
mhm.
then
First one in 2022?
yeah, I believe so. It was something like that. Or I think it may have been 21 because I remember we were still under
Okay,
very strict COVID restrictions.
okay.
We had like very little audience and we were all still masked up and everything.
Oh, wow, yeah.
It was a really interesting first show though. It was very intimate, which I think was a good experience for my first show. And yeah, it was a great time, and so I did that for a while, and then my husband and I decided to do MagicCon Chicago. I believe it was just the two of us that decided to go. We didn't go with friends that year. And I kind of on a whim was like, I had always wanted to get into cosplay. I had just made one kind of like not super serious, like just a fun one. I had been working with latex for a while, and so I had made a latex Junko and Oshima. I'm like, what if I made this and just competed? What's the worst that could happen? And I entered in novice, and oh my God, I have to tell you, I deliberated over that so hard
Yeah,
because I am a master seamstress. I have a degree in sewing. I
yeah,
did bridal alterations for 5 years. And so my sewing has been at an expert level basically from the beginning. but I had never made props. I had never done wig styling or anything.
And that makes it, and it's kinda like, have you played sports before?
A little, I was not a very
No.
sporty kid.
No, no, it's okay. It's like when they say that, like, if you go out running, if you're a runner, it doesn't translate exactly to, like, soccer or to basketball
Yeah.
because it's using different muscles, it's using different parts of your body, so I would assume that even though you are a master seamstress, that doing the cosplay stuff was using different muscles that you hadn't used before, maybe hadn't used a lot before.
Yeah, never, yeah, and, like, looking back now at my props now versus then, it's like, "Oh, yeah, you had no idea what you were doing." And so I had even called, like, it's Leap something, whatever Wizards uses for their, festival admin, being like, "Hey, where do I go? Where do I put myself?" And they never got back to me. So everyone was like, "Do beginner. It is you fit the criteria for beginner." So I went
Mhm.
in beginner. Was very shocked to win in my category, and
Yeah.
it was a great time. I had no plan on making content at that point. And I met so many cool people, and I need to shout out Creative Kitty Cosplay because she kind of adopted me
Yeah.
that whole day. And she is just like, she does this every time. She will find someone who's new and integrate them into the cosplay community and introduce them around, and everyone's so welcome, but she really goes out of her way to make sure they're watched after kind of the
Yeah.
whole day, and she's just awesome. And so I met a whole bunch of people, and then everyone after was like, "What's your handle? What's your handle?" And I'm like, "Oh crap, I gotta get going on this." So that's when I made my account, was that weekend, and that's kind of
Yeah.
what snowballed all this.
Yeah, it's amazing to see where you started as it comes to the social media portion of it, to where it is today too, because it's been just under 2 years and like you are almost to 10,000 on Instagram, right?
I'm hoping by the end of the year we can get there.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I definitely think it's possible. You have a very strong, I mean, that is such a, in my opinion, fast ascension for
Yeah,
someone to go from I have no social media to this. It's incredible to me.
well, thank you. It was a lot faster than I thought it would be, and I just really enjoy social media. I
Yeah,
like being
you're
in
really good
front of a
at it.
camera. Thank you. I like being in front of a camera. I like being on stage. I was a theater kid, if you haven't picked up on that.
No.
No, I know, it's shocking. And so all of this is very within my wheelhouse.
Yeah,
And I just, like, thoroughly enjoy doing it.
it comes
Yeah,
through.
thank you. I would love to get into more YouTube. It's just
YouTube's
such a
hard.
time commitment.
It's hard. I don't know how like anyone does it. Even just like the 8-minute stuff. Like it seems just so taxing, especially the editing part of it, right? Like
Editing especially, yeah, and I'm so, like, nitpicky on my editing too. I want it to be, like, perfect.
yeah. So actually speaking of perfect, so how hard was it to start cosplaying as a quote unquote beginner, amateur, things like that, as a master seamstress? How did that feel? How did that feel on the inside, knowing that I can do all of this, but I've never done this? I gotta know.
It's very cool because so the thing that always I enjoyed as a designer is being able to take something that I sketched and make it a thing.
Yeah.
And that was always the magical part of it for me, and so now I'm taking something that I didn't make. I didn't design, I didn't ideate, and I have to figure out how this fantasy card that doesn't really have any basis in reality,
Hmm.
if we're being honest, some of this stuff
Hmm.
kind of defies gravity, and how do I make this into something tangible? And
Yeah.
so the clothing part is what I started with because that's what I knew.
Yeah.
And then I moved on to prop making, and it's not perfect, and I think I just love learning new things. And again, I collect hobbies, and cosplay is just a collection of hobbies. And so I liked the excuse to be able to do more things, try new things. Again, I do get frustrated with myself when something doesn't work out and I have to
Yeah.
ideate, but that's again just perfectionism that I think we all struggle with. But It's very cool now to be able to look back and be like, "Oh, I know how to do this better. I would like to do this
Yeah.
better." And so yeah, I took it as like this will be a fun challenge.
Yeah.
And again, wasn't like expecting, didn't go in with it with like the idea of like, "Oh, I'm gonna win." It was I just want to do this thing, and I had I had always wanted to do cosplay, and I just had like the hardest time getting me to do it just because like I have a very difficult body to dress. I'm very tall. I'm very hourglass, and so I can't really do straight size patterning. And so it's
Mhm.
just that's a challenge in and of itself. And then there's all the, you know, not to get deep, all the insecurities of like, but what if they don't like me specifically? What if they like my costume, but they don't like me specifically? You know what I'm saying?
Well, for if they don't like you specifically, I'll go fight them because that's ridiculous.
But that was
But I
that was the big thing that kept me from
yeah.
cosplaying for the longest time, I think.
Yeah. So when were you officially like, I'm going to do just this? I know you said that recently you stopped with the clothing line. But when were you like, I'm really going to go full in on the cosplay, like where you were to the point that you won this past Magic Con?
I think after it's probably been the last year or so, I just realized that I enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah.
And I was able to make more money doing this than I was with my clothing brand, which, not to like make money the factor, but money's a factor. And I realized that, oh, I really like being the one who gets to model the stuff. I
I
like
mean, that
getting
is
to
really
have
fun.
the final product.
Yeah, I mean that is really fun, and like you're very photogenic, right?
Cute.
You have a ton of fun when you're doing everything you're doing. That's why I say I think your stuff is amazing because you can tell that you are having a blast. Whether it's cosplaying, making a skit, just talking for the sake of us being here. Thank you again, by the way.
Yeah.
Like you can tell you just have such a fun time with it.
Yeah, I don't think I'd do it if I wasn't enjoying it. I'm a person who's very honest, I think, with myself. And
Yeah.
if I'm not enjoying something, I'm not going to do it again. And yeah, I just like I have such a passion for it. And I'm an extrovert, and so, you talk about just talking with people. This is like what gives me energy. It's just
Oh,
chatting with
good.
other people, and the community's just so awesome, especially a lot of the other people that I've met through doing this, and it's very encouraging to want to keep coming back over and over again.
Yeah, and that's actually it actually leads into a question did want to ask is what led to the cosplay being about magic, or what led to you just being a part of the magic community in general, as opposed to, anime or comics or whatever have you?
So I do a bit of both.
Okay.
My goal for the next year is to kind of expand to doing some more non-magic cosplay and doing some non-magic cosplay competitions. But I was really drawn to magic because I learned how to play in college, and our whole friend group got really into it, and it just kind of became my husband and my thing. And
Okay.
that was our Saturday date is we go get coffee and we play Magic, and so it became something that we could share, and then it spiraled into, like, kind of a hyperfixation for me. Yeah, and it's just kind of kept going from there, I thoroughly enjoy the game. I am, like, and I was thinking about this the other day, I'm like, I probably think about Magic every day. I don't think that's normal.
I mean, I think it's
Um
normal, but you're probably right. Probably isn't. You're right.
And then the community is what keeps me coming back. The
Yeah.
gathering of Magic the Gathering. But yeah, I really would love to do some more properties. I'd love to start doing more Dungeons and Dragons stuff. I love comic books, which again now is canon in Magic,
This
so
is-
it fits.
So really, you're just doing magic anyway.
Yep, pretty much. And now yeah, so all the Marvel stuff that I have planned, it's all gonna be Magic canon and
I mean, now it's easier to do the crossovers when you go to do that stuff, so that makes a lot of sense.
exactly.
Speaking of crossovers, I did want to congratulate you on being an ambassador for Avatar that's coming out soon. This episode's happening
Thank
before
you.
Avatar officially comes out, but congratulations. What did that mean for you to be able to become an ambassador for the Avatar set?
Yeah, well, this is my first ambassadorship,
Yeah.
and I'm so excited that it was Avatar. I really love the show. I love Avatar. I love Korra. I read the Kyoshi books. I really love the world and the world building, and I think that they adapted it very, very well.
Mhm.
And so I'm really excited to be a part of it and to be able to share that. And I think narratively they did it very well, especially with like between flavor text and how they even like built mechanics around certain cards to still kind of fit a narrative. I'm just very excited. Like I've been opening packs and I'm like, "Oh, that's so cool." And my husband's never seen the show and he has no idea what anything is, but I'm like, "No, I promise it's really cool."
Well, we need to change that. We need to get them on the train.
I know.
What is actually here? This is a question that I don't think I've asked anyone yet, but I love asking people.
Yeah.
What is your comfort show? Is it Avatar or is it something else?
Oh, I have a list, and so I am
Okay.
like the crazy person who will rewatch things over and over and over again.
It just sounds like you're neurodivergent.
Yes, we've got a touch of the tism. So I have a couple. So Orange is the New Black is one that I rewatch often.
Okay.
And then let's see, I like have a list. I've watched Wicked, gotta be 20 times since it
Oh
came
wow.
out. I obsessed. Sex in the City is one I
Okay.
will put on in the background, and then I'm rewatching Once Upon a Time right now, which
Okay.
like it's so bad. So good.
Everyone has that one. Everyone has that one that is like it's terrible, I know, but still, like,
Yep.
go watch it.
Oh, and then The Tudors. I have to do my yearly rewatch of The Tudors.
I actually don't know if I know that one.
It's very good. It's on Prime. It's Henry Tudor and his six wives.
Oh gosh.
But it's got Natalie Dormer in it as Anne Boleyn.
Okay.
She's great.
Okay. You got me there. I like that.
She's great.
So I want to come back to the sewing stuff because I think your stuff looks fantastic. You're a master sewer. That
Cute.
seamstress. This makes a ton of sense. Like that. What made you want to go into becoming a seamstress? What was the motivation there?
Yeah, so I originally wanted to go when I was like looking at schools like junior year or whatever. I wanted to do comic book penciling and I wanted to go for illustration. And then I made a Halloween costume, like just bought a pattern, used my mom's sewing machine, and I'm like, "Oh, I really like this. And I'm pretty okay at this." And then started looking into like design school stuff and found the program I ended up going to, and it was the only school I toured. And I'm like, "Yep, this fits. I get to draw, I get to sew. This just fits."
Awesome. And side note, because I did, as you mentioned earlier, I did my research. I think your stuff is awesome. The stuff that you did
Cute.
for your apparel line, like I think I was really into it. I really enjoyed, and the jewelry that you had on there as well. Like I think it's all very trendy as you were aiming for. I thought it was very clean, and I hope that maybe someday that'll catch on again for you if somehow something happens because I think you have a really good eye. Clearly,
Cute.
as you do with the cosplay as well, because to reel it back into where we are today, you won MagicCon. How was that?
It was awesome.
And
um
this was your second time doing uh Zool Asher, correct?
yes, so I made it for Vegas of this year
Mhm.
and didn't place at all, which was hard because like I think that the winners did such an amazing job, and I just really beat up on myself like, oh,
Yeah.
it wasn't good enough, wasn't, and I think we all do that, but I also didn't let it put me in a hole because I was immediately like, okay, can I re-enter this? Can I make it better? Give me all the feedback, tell me what to fix, and I'll fix it.
Yeah.
And it paid off, and
Yeah.
looking back on it, it's like, yeah, no, there were problems with it, but we fixed them, and
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
super grateful that I had that opportunity to go back and learn something, you know? Yeah, and I just as hard as it is, you know, to feel like, "Oh, I didn't do good enough." I think it's an opportunity if you let it be an opportunity for growth.
Yeah. And I think that, I mean, it's incredible. I adore it. I think
Thank you.
what else is so interesting, obviously you know Zula Escher. Do you know what the flavor text says on her showcase card?
Oh, I don't know off the top of my head. She's literally in my phone case. What is the flavor text?
So the flavor text on her showcase card says, while her foes took stock of their casualties, she ordered hers to renew the assault. And I think that really speaks to what you did because you didn't just rest on your laurels, kind of lick your wounds. You went right back into battle.
Oh, I love that.
You went right back into battle to say, I'm gonna do it this time. I'm gonna make it happen. And you did, obviously, because you know it's you're I mean, okay, you're having an incredible like 2 months here, right? Like
Yeah.
month and a half of like winning MagicCon, becoming an ambassador. Like I like that is such that's some people's like whole like I'm good after that, right? And just from listening to you, I know you're not going to do that. So what's next in your mind for cosplay, for magic, for all of that? And you don't have to get like deep into it, but just like some overarching things of like this is where I see myself.
Yeah, I mean, I never rest.
I know.
Like, here's the thing too, this is my rest. Like, you know, we're trying to figure out sort of my schedule for next year, when I
Yeah.
should make things, because I'm also a person that needs, like, very much needs structure.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna have like a 3-month period between being done with Vegas and then having to get started for Grand Championship.
Yeah.
I could work on something, and my husband is like, "Well, you could relax." I'm like, "But that's all I want to do if I'm relaxed." So, upcoming plans cosplay wise, I'm going to be competing in Vegas
Which
for
side note
sure.
is like so far away it feels like.
It really is, but I want to get started now because like
Yeah.
if I get it done and it's done, wonderful, I get to make something else fun.
Yeah.
But I have been really trying to not con crunch, and
Yeah.
I've been good the last 2. Geese Eye finished with, like, a couple days to spare. Zulashur was
Fantastic.
done in time, like, didn't have to con crunch in the hotel. So I'm really trying to set myself up for success. But yeah, I'm gonna be competing, and I'm very excited about what I'm doing because I get to do something a little different than what I would normally do. Normally, I am pretty specific in the characters that I pick to compete with. I have a couple rules. I want to pick something that has a name. I have to pick something that has a really good balance of different elements because the most important thing in a craftsmanship show is showcasing a wide variety of skills and abilities. And so, you know, I pick a good amount of armor, we pick a good amount of sewing, but this is a very sewing heavy build. And there's just like a little less pressure because obviously I want to
Yeah.
do my best, but like I already get to participate in the grand championship. And so there's a little less pressure. And so I get to do just something fun. And I'm very excited about it.
I mean, it comes through, obviously. Like you sound thrilled. And it makes sense that the pressure is a little bit off. Not totally off because you don't want to like go from first to last or something like that. That's
Yeah,
a
oh, I'm
lot,
still
right?
gonna give it my all, yeah,
Yeah.
but I guess it's just more the decision of character is different. I can tell you what
Yeah.
it is too. I'm doing Conceited Witch from Wilds of Eldraine. So it's gonna be very cool. I have the whole like stage performance come up with. I have it all planned out in my head already.
That's awesome. I cannot wait for that.
It's
I
gonna be super cool.
I love that. And thankfully you have plenty of time. I when I say Vegas
Yes.
feels so far away, like last year the first MagicCon was in February, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the first one this year is in May,
Yeah,
this upcoming year.
and then
So
Atlanta's in November.
yeah, which is it like they pushed everything back a couple months, which is just it feels weird, but that's okay.
Mhm.
Like gives our cosplayers more time to figure out their stuff and not have to finish stuff in the hotel room. which is nice. But that actually leads me. This is where things go off the rails because I things pop in my head and then I have questions. How do you feel about fashion shows, the competition shows?
Like a Project Runway?
Yes.
I look at it very differently, and I will design along with designers. I love Project Runway, like, especially
Okay.
old Runway. It was my like, one of my favorite shows, and then
Like when Tim was still on it.
oh my god, yes. Like, I am not typically, like, a starstruck person, like, super into celebrities. If I could meet a celebrity, it would be Tim Gunn.
Really? That makes
Yeah.
sense though. That makes a lot of sense though.
Yeah.
He is a character in like the best way.
I'm like, I feel like he would just give me so much encouragement.
Yeah, seriously. He seems very direct, but very kind in his directness. So you just have to like
Yeah.
appreciate that about him.
Yeah, so I love Project Runway. The new one making the cut, I think it was, with
Okay.
I think it was, like, Tan France and then Heidi Klum. I So while I didn't like the show as much, I thought it was very interesting because they had the designers conceptualize and then sort of like do some drafting, and then they would hand it off at the end of the day to a tech designer and a seamstress. So they would work on their what's called a tech pack, which is, in industry what you're sending to your factory that basically is like, here are the directions to make this design I want. And I thought it was really interesting that they actually showcase that as part of the show because that's how actual design works. Unless you're like a couture house where you're working in house with designers, that is how clothing is made. And so I thought that was very interesting to actually like show that real part of how your clothes get made.
I mean, I agree. I think the whole thing from original to what we have today is fascinating because I like watching people do things that they are great at.
Yeah.
I like watching people do things that they can be creative with as well. And I always wonder for someone like you who is a seamstress, like do you like when they have like the brief you have to do this, or are you more into the you can kind of do whatever you want within this bubble?
I really like specific design
Okay.
things because I think there's room for people to maintain their like personal aesthetic, but I like the idea of having like a challenge. I love the unconventional challenges that they would do.
Mhm. Oh my gosh, like the bar straws and
Yeah.
like the newspapers. Oh my gosh.
We had a
That's a
class
crazy.
project in school that was basically that. It was fashion without fabric, and it wasn't actually a fashion course, it was for a 3D design. And we had a whole fashion show and everything, and so that was kind of my Project Runway moment. It was so fun.
Did you have to do it within a time frame too, or was it like
I mean, it was
as
school
tight as possible?
project, so it
Yeah.
was it was like, a couple months,
Okay.
but yeah, it was just still kind of that same concept.
Yeah. How do you feel about the time frames they give to be able to do some of this stuff? Because my wife and I, we watch Project Runway, as you can tell. We also watch Ink Master, and they're always like,
Oh, yeah.
do this huge thing in 3 hours." And we're like, how? How does this even work? So what do you think about those time frames where they're like, oh, make this whole thing in a day and a half, make this whole thing by end of day?
I have a lot more sympathy for them, especially when there are things that aren't finished because, like, I'm a very fast sewer, but to go from 0 to a full look in, like, 8 hours, nuts. And
Right?
so, they'll get out on the runway and they're like, "Actually, your zipper is crooked." And it's like, "Yeah, of course, you gave them 8 hours, and he's using lame." Like,
Right? Like I want to see you do this. Like you come over here and do what we're doing right now.
yeah, so I think I could do it, but I think I would die trying.
Okay. Would you want to? Like if someone said, "Hey, we want you on Project Runway," would you do it?
Probably. Probably, yeah.
That's fair. I mean, just the opportunity to be on there, right? Like they say, not that I think you would bomb out immediately or anything. So please don't take it as that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they say even the people who like end who are first out end up okay.
Yeah, I think even to just try it. Again, I love a novel experience and a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
Even if sometimes I have to be dragged kicking and screaming into a learning opportunity.
But it is something that's interesting to say that you have experience in. So you at least, like, I
Yeah.
don't have experience. Like if they asked me to be on that show, I'd be like, no, because I think it's interesting, but no. But you actually clearly have the experience to be able to do that. So I'm sure it's a much different avenue for you to say, I would at least try it. Like you said, I would give it a go, whether I like myself after or not, or like them after. Maybe I won't watch the show
Yeah.
again afterwards.
I think I could realistically do okay.
I believe that. I believe
Of
because I
yeah.
know I keep saying this, but I mean it. Like I really like the stuff that you do. You have a really
Thank you.
really fun sense of style, and it comes through in all your not just your cosplays, but also in the skits you do. Which, by the way, you're hilarious.
Thank you. I
When did
grew
you
up on
find that you
Monty
were so funny?
Python, so
That's no, that's how you know. So when did you realize you were hilarious? When did that actually happen?
I don't think I realized it.
You don't think? Come on.
I was actually, like I've always been an extrovert, but I was pretty shy in high school,
Okay.
and I think I actually, like I consciously made the choice to be like, "I'm gonna be the super welcoming, friendly, outgoing, funny person," and would study again, a touch of the tism. I would study how other people would interact with each other, and, the guy who, like, always has the quick joke and, would used to catch me off guard, but now I can throw it back because I've just, like, figured it out by watching, and
Shifter
so
thing. You've been a shapeshifter all your life.
kind of. It's actually been, like, a conscious cultivation of the type of personality that I think I wanted to have,
That's fair.
if that makes sense.
That does.
Like, I don't think I happened by accident, but I think I've been very clear in who I've wanted to be and made choices that would get me to, like, being the person I wanna be, if that makes sense.
That makes a ton of sense. What do you have a favorite thing you've done so far? Not cosplay related, but a favorite thing you've done so far?
Like, that I've made?
Either that
Or
you've made or that you've maybe it hasn't come out yet, but you've thought of. Maybe even like Convoked, which by the way, people listening here, go watch Convoked Tuesdays and Thursdays as we speak. Subject to change. But like, is there a thing that you've done so far where you're like, this is my wheelhouse, or this was like my Mona Lisa?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's been this. I think it has been the cosplay, honestly, has been the stuff
Okay.
that I felt most at home with. I think I was really getting there when I started working with latex. I really enjoy working with latex. I think it's a super fun material to work with and extra challenging. And I love wearing latex.
Good on you, because I look at latex and I'm like, you know what? I'll come back later. Like y'all can figure this out.
It's a compression garment is honestly what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And it's you get sweaty, but that's fine. I really liked working with latex, and I've done some really fun, like, one-off projects. There was this event in this, like, very fancy historic hotel in Minneapolis that I was asked, or no, I applied to do. They did this Christmas tree dressmaking exhibition.
Ooh, okay.
And if you were selected, they gave you, like, a budget, and you basically had to make a art piece, a dress out of a Christmas tree and, whatever else you wanna do, and so that was just, like, a super fun, like, fashion adjacent thing to
Mhm.
do, and then I think looking towards the future, I have some, like, big ideas. I love a group cosplay, and I have so many big groups that I would love to do to coordinate, magic and then non-magic. I would love to do, like, the classic Barbie movies.
My gosh.
Just a group of cosplayers doing all the classic Barbie movies. I'd love to get hired by companies to come to conventions in cosplay. That's kind of the dream, you know?
Yeah.
That's something I'm working towards, throwing
I
my name out
mean,
there.
I think it's a possibility. I mean, it's a stronger possibility now after MagicCon, right? Like that has
I'm
to look good on
hoping.
a resume. That has to look really good on a resume.
Yeah, I mean, just the, like, visibility of taking Best in Show has been really helpful, I think.
Yeah. And was this also your first time in being what's the word I'm looking for? Ambassador for MagicCon. We'll say I don't remember if that's the
Yes,
right
this is
word, but
my first time being, like, Featured creator, yeah.
Featured creator, thank you, yeah. So
Yeah.
this is the first time being a featured creator, and how was that experience too? Like, it feels like the last this year, I guess, as a whole, this year has been it feels from outside like a whirlwind.
Kind of, yeah. Like, it's things are snowballing and it's very exciting, and I hope they just keep kind of going.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. I got to do a meet and greet, which again, I just love talking to people and making
And I
people feel, comfortable and welcome
the
and
only reason you're here because I met you at the meet and greet, and I was like, "Oh my gosh." I have the token right here. That's not a lie.
yes.
I have the token right here, the creature zombie.
Hopefully new ones coming for Vegas. Hint hint.
Ooh,
At least new
okay.
stickers.
I mean, and did a side note, before you go on, who designed these for you, or was it you?
I do all my own art, yeah.
This is amazing.
Thank you.
This is amazing. I love it. Okay. So, amazing artist, amazing seamstress, amazing person, amazing. You amazing. Great. Okay. So you got to do the meet and greet, which, like I said, I went to and was fantastic, and you were great. And I'm sure you had a lot of people who, just like me, were like, "Oh my gosh, it's Van Quig. Oh my gosh."
I did get, like, recognized for the first time at this one, so that was kinda
Yeah.
cool. I'm like, cause I also look so different in cosplay than I
Mhm.
do out of it, that I can kinda just, like, blend in, and then my hair has changed, like, 4 times in the last 2 years that I've been making content, so no one ever knows what I look like.
A shapeshifter. See, this is a theme.
I know.
Staying on brand. But so you got to do the meet and greet, which again, I was so thankful to meet you at. You did the competition. What else did you get to do? Because I feel like I know I was with Shy, shout out Shy,
Yeah.
and for
Shy.
her it felt like there was no time to do anything. So
Yeah,
were you able to do some of the stuff you wanted to do?
yeah, definitely. I mean, the first couple days were definitely busy because I had the meet and greet and then we had the avatar trivia, which was super fun.
Oh, you guys are
Um,
hilarious.
it was a blast.
Yeah.
And we got in Thursday, which always get in Thursday because it's you get to settle in and it's just easier. Like we'd gone out with some other creators and we did like sort of lobby con stuff and then Sunday I actually got to like play some games, which was good
Yeah.
because that's what we're here for, right? I actually got to play
Allegedly.
the game.
Allegedly we're here to play games or something. I don't know. I thought we were just there to talk and maybe think about possibly playing a game, but
I thought
get
about
kicked out
it.
of
Yeah.
get kicked out of hotel lobbies and stuff.
Yeah. I
Um,
wasn't there when you guys got kicked out. I went to bed.
I mean, hey, you made the good choice, I guess.
Well, I we went out and we got margaritas, and then I
Oh
was like,
heck yeah,
you know what? Bedtime."
heck yeah. I love a good marg. What's your go-to marg flavor?
I like a spicy.
Ooh, okay.
Otherwise, like if we're going like the three basics, like a mango, like a lime, probably a lime. I'm kind of
Lime.
basic that way.
That's okay. I mean, spicy is not basic. Not everyone can do the spicy one, so good on you.
I love
But
like a spicy and then a sweet.
okay, like, do you like is it just a jalapeno like straight up, or is it like jalapeno pineapple, jalapeno mango?
Ooh, jalapeno pineapple. Yeah,
Okay. Are you a
sounds
spicy person
delicious.
in general or just for margaritas?
No, I'm a spicy person in general.
Okay. Do you watch Hot Ones?
A little bit, not
Okay.
like religiously, but I
Uh,
know of hot ones.
do you ever want to like do you ever just try to find like the hottest thing and then say I'm going to try this and see what happens, or are you just like I know I like spice and I know what one thing I like that is spicy, so I'll just have that.
I like spice in moderation. I'm not
Moderation.
I'm not like an adrenaline junkie with my peppers.
That's fair. That's that's fair. Don't go out and I can tell you from experience, don't go out and try the hottest thing just on a
Nope.
whim. It leaves you very very bad place.
My pride stays silent when it comes to spicy stuff.
I wish mine did. I truly wish mine did. I guess that's being a guy. Some things just, you can't get away from. But so, man, this has been. I don't know why I called you Van, Sophia. Sophia, this has been.
Either works. I
I
respond
know
to
it does.
either.
I know. How okay, so what do you hear more often and not at home, obviously, and not with your family? What do you hear more often when you're out at a con or at an event or something?
But I get if people know me, it's Sophia or Soph. But I've gotten Van Quig, I've gotten Quigley before. VQC, I use VQC a lot just because it's easier. So it's like it's a good variety.
It's hey, you know what? When you can go by anything, then it's just easier, right? You just hear a name, you're like, yeah, it's me. And
But I
like,
respond to all of them. Yeah.
yeah, that's
Typically,
good.
it's whatever character I'm in. So it's like, "Olivia!"
Okay.
"Hello." "Yes, that's me."
Hello, I am. I am she.
And then
That's
oh my
actually
god, I
funny.
feel so bad because people will I'll if I'm walking somewhere, if I'm in a big wig or like Zulasher was, the hood and the wig, I don't have peripheral vision and I can't hear very well.
Mhm. Mm.
And I feel so bad because like I'll be walking and I'm locked in and my husband will be like, "Hey, they were complimenting your outfit." I'm like, "Just can't hear you." I feel
Aw.
so bad.
You are truly a sweetheart.
Well, and
I
then people are
and
quiet because I think they don't want to bug me. And so they'll be like, "Oh, I like your costume," but then I can't hear you.
so I will tell you because now this part's about me. No, I'm just joking.
Now
I
back to me.
That's me. No, so what I'll tell you is I was really nervous to meet anyone at
Yeah.
Magic. And I even people that I knew already, I was nervous to meet. So when we got to meet you, I was nervous to meet you. I will tell you that. And I'm sure from your aspect, you're like, it's just me. But
Yeah.
from my aspect, you're Van Quig. Like you are, oh my gosh, right? And it was really refreshing to meet someone who I view as a very big player in the Magic community, but is also very kind and considerate and sweet and willing to have these conversations, willing to have the conversations that we had at MagicCon. Just being kind. And because I think for people, me and other people who probably try to come up and say, I like your costume, we're worried that it's going to be some kind of backlash. And that's not
Oh
the
my
case.
gosh,
It's
no.
not the case. Like, I think who I think it was Sullivan who told me we're all nerds. Like,
Oh,
we're all at a
yeah.
magic convention. As long as I'm not in the middle of something, like, come over, say hi or something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
and, as long as it's, like, not inappropriate or,
yeah,
and I really haven't dealt with that at
good.
MagicCon at all, which, is great. But yeah, no, please, like, come talk, say hi. Like, and you're like, I look at you as this, like, big player in the Magic space. My brain has not changed from 0 followers to 10,000 followers. Again, yeah, I'm still just, like, a nerd. I don't think of myself as, like, VQC the creator. It's like, no, I'm just Sophia and I'm here to play this game I love and like, oh, I get to chat with strangers. Oh no, my favorite thing. Like
It
please come chat.
that I love that, Sophia. Honestly, that's and I know Kilala, Lady Kilala. Shout out to her too. She did a small series where she talked to a few creators and said, "Hey, like, what's a good time to come say hi to you?" And they kind of said the same thing. Like, as long as I'm not in the middle of something, as long as you're not being weird or anything like that, just come say hi.
Yeah, like if I'm
Because we're just people.
up and I'm walking around, like that is interaction time. Like please come
Yeah.
up and say hi, take a picture. I love taking pictures. Like as
You
long as
what?
I'm not I know. As long as I'm not like sitting down and eating, like even if I'm sitting down at a game, like maybe approach with like a little more hesitancy, but I'll probably
Yeah.
at least say hi.
Yeah.
It's really just if I'm like eating or am taking like parts of my costume off so I can like run to the bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah, don't interrupt in general, don't interrupt people when they're eating unless you're at the
Yeah.
table with them already, like, not set yourself down and then decided to start talking, like, you're already eating with that person because then, they know you're there. And then
Yeah.
bathroom, like, don't don't do that, everyone.
Well, and I felt so bad because like, especially with Olivia, I can just take parts off
Yeah,
and I'm running in like just a corset and a skirt.
yeah.
And people are like, oh, can I take a picture with you? I'm like, I don't have half my cosplay on. Find me later.
I imagine that was much harder with Zulashar. Like, I imagine that was much, much harder.
Yeah, that is a we go to the family restroom and Simon helps me
Yes,
because I have
that
to
makes total
take like
sense.
all of it off. And we changed the batteries at that point too.
Yeah.
So that was like a 30-minute process.
Oh my gosh. That's so much. Also, I don't think I got to meet Simon when I was there, so
He
that makes me a little sad.
he will typically be around with me. I think yeah, I think he may have wandered off at that point. He's got a sick mustache.
I
He's
mean,
the
that's
best cosplay handler.
that's awesome. And your best friend, husband, and all those
Yep.
things.
Yep.
Like, that's amazing. How long have
I
you
like him
been
a
together?
lot. This year is 5 years we've been married.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's amazing. Marriage
Yeah,
is awesome.
we also got married in 2020, so
I'm so sorry.
it was supposed to be 2 weeks after graduation. Do with that what you will. It was kind of a
Mhm.
nightmare month.
I that's a later conversation because
Yep.
I don't think I can handle that right now, but I can
We'll
only imagine how
revisit
you
this in
felt.
another 5 years.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, what do they call the 10-year anniversary? Is that like you know how they have, like, medals or whatever for each anniversary?
Yeah.
We'll do it on
I
that
don't
anniversary.
know.
I'm not very good. I just know like 1 year is paper or something. I can't remember, but I think like 1 year is paper or aluminum or something. I don't know.
I think all of ours are paper because magic cards.
Yeah, yeah, it's just different levels of magic cards, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like at some point we stop going from like mythic, we start going to grades. It's like what like grade 1, grade 2. That makes a
Yep.
lot of Sophia, I don't want to take up too much of your time today. I feel like I've taken up so much already, but I've had such a blast. I just have a few questions to end
Yeah.
off on that are at least somewhat magic related, if not magic adjacent. I'll give you some examples of some questions because they can be a little odd.
Okay.
They're the hardest questions over here. I'm just joking. That's not. Okay, we'll start off. What is your favorite card?
What is my favorite card? So
Yeah.
it's not even because of what it does, but because the art always bangs. It's
Mm.
Exotic Orchard.
Oh my gosh. Exotic Orchard is always a beautiful card. You're right.
Specifically the Bloomborough printing.
Of
It
course.
is the most beautiful card I think ever.
That is
And the art for it is always just like perfect.
I agree. And also Exotic Orchard is just a good card. So,
Yeah, yeah, that
but
too.
do you have a favorite deck that you've ever made or currently have?
I think currently it's gonna be my Delney Streetwise Lookout. It's a Heir Apparent deck.
It is a Heir Apparent deck.
It's pretty stinky.
It's Mathic the Gathering,
Yeah, actually, yeah. It's just so fun, and I like it's spicy because it's Heir Apparent, but I really
yeah,
didn't put like any game changers in there. It's really just fun bunny flavor.
which who doesn't love bunnies?
And that's kind of all I build is like silly little guys and do math now. Decks.
Which is so funny because you're like, "Oh my gosh, so much math," but then all the decks you build are math
Well,
adjacent to
because I
math.
like math.
You
I
wait,
don't
hold
like
on.
I don't like having
You
to do math on stream.
so wait, you like math.
Yeah, I like math.
So what kind of math do you like?
I like really like high level conceptual math. I wanted to be a math teacher for a while, actually, like math
Oh,
professor, like
okay.
high level calculus. I like math a lot, but I use like very basic like fractions and I mean sewing is a lot of math and pattern
That's
making is a
fair.
lot of like very basic algebra math.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That makes a lot of sense. Now, liking it, I'm surprised by, but the fact that you use it all the time makes a lot of sense. And to do it to yourself on stream on top of it all
It tickles
is,
my brain in the right way.
oh my gosh. Like I have 97 triggers. Okay, well, I'll come back tomorrow.
Let's
Um,
do exponents.
right? That really you should just have an episode. You know how Shadow Steel City have like their judge shows? You should have just a
Mhm.
math show. Like
Yes.
here's all the math you have to worry about in Magic and just do it.
We almost
Just
did
like
when we did it, the Oops All Shroofus.
oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't even know how that game ended. That's a whole again. That, I'm I might have to have you back on just for math at this point. Um
Hell yeah.
okay, what is a card that you play most often? So for me, the card that I play most often is Haunted Cloak because I own 30 of them. Don't ask me how I got 30 of them, but I own 30 of them. And I feel like it's just a good card. Trample, haste, vigilance. I mean, those are three really good things in my opinion. So do you have a card that you play most often?
I'm trying to think.
It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be like an artifact either. Like if it's a card that you play in black decks, because you know, and every black deck that you play or whatever, it can be that too.
So I play a lot of green because I'm a very like big thing stompy player or many little things.
Same,
And
same.
have really gotten into Landsack and Recursion, so probably Conduit of Worlds.
Oh my goodness. Oh
'Cause
my god.
it's really good to get multiple landfall triggers, and I've just been very much into that recently.
That yes.
Yeah.
That's all I got for that. Yes, that makes a lot
It's
of sense.
fun.
It
It's
is.
fun.
It is. Again, more math, landfall. I'm learning so much about you as it comes to math now. This is incredible.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Do the
hopefully
same thing over and over again.
what's the card from Strixhaven Solve the Equation? Do you play that all the time too?
I don't think so.
You should. I think it's Simic, but still, like, just the fact that it says solve the equation. Actually, you know what? Could you just make a math deck that has like all math related names of cards?
I think
Um,
people would hate me.
I would
They're
love
never
if it
coming
helps. I
on
would love
stream
it.
again.
I would love it. I would love it. Is there a card that you think people should play more often?
I
Like
don't know.
for me, I think people should play Elixir of Immortality more often because there's so much graveyard hate and so much mill in the game now that Elixir of Immortality, for those listening, is one drop, pay two, tap it, shuffle your graveyard and Elixir of Immortality into your library, gain 5 life. So I think that's actually won me a couple games just saving my graveyard because I end up having more of a deck than everyone else does.
Yeah, I don't know if I have one I think people should play more. I think people should play gimmicky decks more often. I guess that's
I
kind of
like that.
my thing, do something that's kind of fun and goofy
Yeah.
instead of like this is good.
Yeah. Well, okay. Can you expand on that a little? Like, so when you say gimmicky, you don't just mean like kindred decks, right?
No, I don't mean like kindred decks. I mean like here's this lobster and he's making food, like Script MTG has it's best kitchen something. I can't
Okay.
remember it now. But he calls it soup kitchen and just makes a bunch of food and destroys us with this food. And so stuff
I
like
love that.
that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, that's fun. I agree. I think people should play less just outright good and should play more fun, gimmicky. Let's have a little bit longer of a game and see what happens type stuff.
I think there's a place for both, but I'm very
Yeah.
much a proponent of silly, goofy fun.
Yeah. No, there's absolutely like, and there's a place for like CEDH too, like, right? Like there's a
Yeah.
place for all of it. But I feel like a lot of the people that I see play end up just like, here's all the really good cards. It's like, cool. Like that's good. I love that for you. I'm gonna pull out this, like you said, soup kitchen deck
Yep.
where I'm gonna serve everyone soup that apparently kills them. But no, but I love that. Okay. So one last question for you.
Yeah.
Do you have any hopes for Magic in the future, for yourself in the future, that you'd like to share with us today?
Yeah, I mean, for myself specifically, I want to keep doing what I'm doing. I'd love to keep growing. I love to keep, meet new people, reach new people. For Magic, I feel like I'm actually in some ways aligned with what their goals are. I would love to see more women and femmes in the space.
I
I would
agree.
love to, I I don't know if certain products are the way to do that, but I think that cultivating safe spaces, outreach, like encouraging women to compete in tournaments and making sure that this space is as kind and welcoming as we can make it is really my hope for this space. I would love to get, the numbers closer together.
I agree.
I think
Shout out
that's
Dana
my big
Fisher
one.
for
Yeah.
the competitive scene. She's killing it out there. The whole story about her starting at 5 is crazy too.
Oh my gosh,
That
yeah.
yeah, incredible. And her dad being there every step of the way. Love that. But I agree. Like we do need more diversity in Magic. It's been one thing for a very, very long time, and I think it's important that, especially for women who have been very ostracized, right? Like have not been so welcomed in a lot of spaces, to feel more welcomed and to feel more comfortable in doing those things, not because of products, like you said, not because of products,
And there
but
is
because
product that will get them. Like, I'm
yeah,
I'm not denying that. Bring back Bloomborough, I will give you all my money. But, and
Bloomberg
I
too.
I really I do think it starts with us as players,
Yeah,
and I have really not run into too much myself, but I know there are women that, and femmes that have had just like not great things happen.
Yeah.
And, being a safe place for people. And, if you see something, call it out and be like, hey, this isn't allowed in our community. And this might be a hot take, but I think that we do ourselves a disservice when the overarching joke of the community is, you stinky weird man. And that's the joke. Because, first of all, it puts down, are there stinky weird people in magic? Yes, there's stinky weird people in sports. But
Mhm.
I think when that's the overarching stereotype that we put on ourselves, it does ourselves a disservice and also makes it look like a not welcoming place to be. Because if that's what you see that the community is weird stinky man who's gonna be weird and thirsty over you, that doesn't seem like something that people would want to be a part of. And so I think we need to represent ourselves better. That's been the take I've kind of been sitting on, is like, the joke's tired and I think we can be better.
I agree. I agree. I feel like I sound like that Subway takes guy. I agree. I 100% agree. That makes a ton of sense. And I think that I mean everyone can do better in aspects of everything, right? But I think that that's fair. It causes otherism to some extent, especially for people from the outside that they hear stinky men and then they're like, "Oh, okay, so like why would I want to be a part of that?" I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
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 I agree. VanQuig Cosplay, Sophia, this has been a treat. Thank you so much for spending time with us. Do you have anything you want to plug?
No, just, I mean, check out my stuff. I'm VanQuiggCosplay Cosplay everywhere. VQC Magic over on YouTube. I stream, I make content, I make cosplays. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And to everyone listening, thank you for being here. When despair tries to win, remember to counter with hope. And I hope you have a great day.